mind when you see a bottom structure like this? Is it too shallow? There is no fish? We, the ninjas of the Deep Spearfishing Encyclopedia, we believe that it's about the technique. The fish is always there, but it's how you get to the fish. This is what counts. And today we will speak about agguato, another beautiful Italian word. Dynamic ambushing. To me, agguato is the real essence of spearfishing. It's the art of hunting. On one hand, it's extremely tough physically, it's very challenging. On the other hand, the rewards could be just mesmerizing. Think about it. You're on the bottom, completely relaxed, you're aware of your surroundings, you're blended within the environment, and you slowly navigate your way towards the prey.
To perform a good agguato, the Spiro must be able to read the terrain. Spend some time on the surface observing the bottom. Now, of course, if you're playing deep beyond visibility from surface, you need to make some mid-range dives in order to be able to see the bottom. Try to form in your mind a path that you're going to follow, taking advantage of every available cover and shadows.
Right now, you probably start to realize that an agguato is an extremely complicated system of interconnected elements. The depth, the visibility, the currents, the bottom structure, how does the bottom change horizontally, how does it change vertically, the bait fish behavior, so many elements. But let's start with the basics. For example, the currents.
Try to use the current to your advantage. I know this one is not easy, but agguato is best when you perform it against the current. This is because any sound or scent you might produce will most likely be carried away from the prey and you will remain undetected. Some people, however, prefer the opposite approach. Make any necessary swimming against the current while you're on the surface and dive with the current at your back. This might compromise your concealment, but will definitely grant you more bottom distance, and thus you can approach the prey from further away.
My approach in the agguato would be first to be completely immersed in your environment and as hidden and protected by the seabed as possible, and try to get at the shooting distance at the very last moment when the fish doesn't have the time to react. That would be probably the ideal way to do it in all scenarios. Certainly, if you know that specific fish is gonna be more interested or it's gonna be hesitant, like seeing you going away a little bit but then coming back, then you have a little bit more leeway and a little bit more flexibility in terms of the timing and in terms of avoiding any distraction and or noise. That is what the experience of knowing the specific species will give you. But otherwise, obviously, if you can, trying to approach the fish at an angle or from a position of complete stealth is going to be the most productive way.
Fish do not have good eyesight. This is a fact. Therefore, having the light against their faces is a good trick you can take advantage of in order to get closer to them. Early morning or late afternoon hours provide the best light angle to achieve that effect.
You have to take into consideration the behavior of the fish. On this particular dive, I was targeting a dusky grouper, and we know that they like to hang out under the vertical ledges. So the plan was perfect. I was gonna dive on top of the rock, I was gonna slowly crawl to the very bottom of it, and from a very favorable position, from above the fish, I would place a solid shot. However, my mental error just ruined everything. My simple mental error, my mental laziness of just come up, there is no fish, it resulted in a loss of fish. If I just stayed more humble, I would follow through with my plan and I would probably place the shot. However, you have to adjust to the environment, but flexibility is always the key. I believe that flexibility defines a very good Spearo. It separates a very good Spearo from an average Spearo. But this is a give and take scenario. You have to weigh in what would I get or lose if I follow through with my plan versus what happens if I actually change the plan completely and follow a new directive. Aguato implies speed, so there would be the change in the rate of movement.
Set up your ballast in a way that you can remain comfortably close to the bottom without crawling or kicking, producing unwanted noises. Ideally, while at the bottom, you should be able, only with the use of your fingertips, to move your body forward.
So let's say you figured out the proper weight balance and you know how to use your hand to navigate yourself. Few things you could focus on. First of all, think of a wide picture. If you know that the prey is somewhere there or you have already seen your prey at the time, use the obstacles along the way to your advantage. So if there was a rock, you don't have to climb to the top of the rock so that the fish sees you. You might as well go around the rock. If there was some crack, you could simply get into the crack, hide yourself and slowly move along the crack. Think of the fish ecosystem. Simply put, if you scare the fish, most of the fish get scared. If you trigger curiosity of the fish, most of the fish in the area would be curious too. And one thing I really value about using your hand, and I think it's extremely important, once you navigate yourself, you shouldn't be locked into this lateral direction. You could move to the left, you could move to the right, you could hide yourself towards the rocks, you could wave your head so that the fish would think you're an octopus, or you could simply go back. You have to adjust to the environment. If you think it's better to take a step back, you don't step back, but you move yourself back. If you think it's important to show yourself and then hide on the rock on the left, then you show yourself and then slowly you hide behind the rock and you wait for the curiosity to kick in. Easy, easy, easy. Don't worry about the video. It's very simple. But what do you do in this situation? Look, the fish is down there. It's way too big to shoot from very far away. You're out here. There is a straight rock. No rocks to hide. No cracks to follow. What do you do? Like, how in the world do you get to the fish? Well, you have to adapt to the environment. And adaptation is going to be the next episode of the Deep Spearfishing Encyclopedia. New guests, new ideas, new experiences. So be sure to check back later on. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. And well, in the meantime, see you later.